Alright guys, so I want to apologize. I will be visible in class, but I will not be able to go over this information that we didn't get to today because I need to go to an appointment with my daughter. So anyway, so I wanted to go ahead and finish these last couple questions that we didn't get to, and then get you on to what we need to work on. Okay, so we finished off on E. All right, so remember, this is negative 2/3. Even though the A is in the numerator, it's still a fraction. So we're still going to get rid of that negative 2/3. So I'm going to bring down the 6. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, so negative 3/2. So bring down the 6, negative 3/2. All right, so we know that that cancels. Remember, because we multiply by a negative, we flip the sign. So 6 times negative 3 is negative 18/2. So A is less than negative 9. So that would be the answer of that one. All right, so let's go back up to the ones that we didn't do. All right, so it is negative. So we're going to use the addition property of equality to add the opposite. So we're going to add 3/10, add 3/10. So this would give me 1 and 75/100, because remember, really this is 30/100. So we're going to add that. All right, so this one is 3.5 times n. So we're going to do the opposite, which is to divide. So we're going to divide by 3.5 each side. So then that would give me 2. All right, so on this one, starts out addition. So the subtraction property of equality would be 1/8. 1/8. So hopefully you can see this would cancel. So we have a negative 2 and a negative 1/8. So since they're both negative, it would give me negative 2 and 1/8. Okay, so if you notice, all of these, when we have our inequality, you can see that the variable is first. So m is greater, n is less. This one, the variable is not first. So we always like to rewrite it with the variable first. So you're just going to say, same thing, b is less than. So b is less than or equal to negative 2 and 1/8. Okay? All right, so let's look at the last one. All right, so remember area. It says Leah is designing a rectangular table. What is the range of values for x if the area of the table shown is to be 12 square feet or less? Okay, so that means my 12 is the total, and that means what is on this side of the inequality has to be less than or equal to 12. It cannot go over 12. All right, and if you remember, area is just length times width. So this would be 3 times x over 4 less than or equal to 12. So we solve the inequality. So 3 times x would be 3x divided by 4. So 3x divided by 4 less than or equal to 12. So remember, this is the same as saying 3/4. So we will multiply by the reciprocal. So 4/3 times 3/4 x less than or equal to 12 times 4/3. So we know this cancels. So this gives me x less than or equal to 48/3. And then we know that 3 goes into 48 16 times. So x is less than or equal to 16. Okay, so it says give the range of values. So if it's less than 16, right, and it equals, that means it can be anything between 1 and 16, because we can't have a negative side length, so it has to be 1 and 16. So it is a closed circle, right? So 16 is included. Okay, but this one is tricky. It's not going to have an arrow. It's going to be an open circle at 0. Because 0, we can't have a 0 side length either. So 0 would not be included in that data set. Okay, so then the turn and talk says, what is the longest the unknown side of the table can be? Okay, so we know that 0 does not work. So we can't say 0 divided by 4. That doesn't work. Does not work. So if 16 is the largest number, we substitute it in. So 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that side can be no more than 4 feet. Okay? All right. So if you're watching the video, pause it. I want you guys to work on that check for understanding so that we can make sure that you guys are understanding what you're doing. All right, welcome back. So the veterinarian told Hector that his 8-inch puppy would get no taller than 24 inches. So once again, that means everything on this side has to be smaller or equal to 24. So he's already 8. We're going to add something to that to get 24. So we're going to use our properties of equality. So we're going to use the subtraction property of equality. And so that gives me x is less than or equal to 16. So he will grow somewhere between 1 and 16 inches. All right, the next one, number 2, it is a fraction and it is negative. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, negative 3 over 2, negative 3 over 2. So then x is greater than or equal to, that would be negative 6 over 2. So x is greater than or equal to negative 3. So closed circle, it's greater than, so it's going to go in that direction. All right, and then the last one starts out as subtraction, so we're going to add, use the property, the addition property of equality. So that gives me x is greater than negative 4. Okay, so there's no line, so open circle, and it's greater. So it goes in that direction. Okay? All right, so since the lesson took so long, what I would like for you guys to do on your own is I want you to do problems 4 through 10. 4 through 10. Okay? And I will be available if you guys have questions. And I can try to answer them as I'm driving to my daughter's appointment. Okay, guys? All right. Have a good day.